Here's something to seriously bear in mind on how the truth is actually distorted. All because of a book that claims to be righteous, but in reality, it's a book of evil.
Good is evil and evil is good. The truth is a lie and a lie is a truth. Sweet is bitter and bitter is sweet. And everything is twisted around the other way.
The Satanists have merely followed the pantheist way of thought to its logical conclusion. If there are no absolutes, if God doesn't exist, he hasn't set absolute limits to what we can do. So therefore, anything that the self decides it wants, the self can go after.
I talked about this more than once. And people need to realize that even though I don't believe in Satan, he's actually made up. But if he really does exist, if Satan really does exist, he would actually be the good guy. Most people won't even take that into consideration, which is understandable. But my point that I'm trying to make is there is so much distortion. So much distortion from the Holy Bible. Hello everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. I want to make a very important point, and this is not to deliberately insult anyone, to start an argument with anybody or anything like that, or to just to be mean. I'm not doing this to be mean to Christians or to people who believe in God. But on the other hand, Christian fundamentalists that are strongly just forcing their religion, forcing their faith on people. And a lot of people will say that, oh no, they're not forcing their faith, that kind of thing. But I guess it depends on how you look at it. Everybody has their own point of view. Some people think that Christian fundamentalists are not, people that would brainwash or program people, which is bullshit in my opinion, but that's just how it is. I have a friend who's a Christian fundamentalist, and he's, like I said before, he's so much into it, and he really tries to convert people by any means necessary. And those are the ones that I don't really mind pissing off because, well, you know why. For those of you who are familiar with my channel, you know why. But I have to say, since there is so much distortion and so much things that were changed in the Bible in order to benefit, you know, the political and social structure of control, you know, that kind of thing. But what I find very, very ironic is if you really study how the Bible really is when it comes to the actual character of God in this book, you'll start to notice how he's more of the bad guy, a person who's a strict authority figure, and most people don't even bother to realize that at all. And I think that either they just don't want to because it interferes and it actually goes into conflict to what they're actually being taught, and which is understandable. You've been taught something for so many years, you're believed you're believed to it to be true, only to find out that you were actually lied to, and then you go into a defense mode and say, no, that's not true. And you just hold on to that faith no matter what. You just hold on to that belief no matter what. And that's what I find very sad. But Christians that are more liberal, I have no problem with. They might disagree, but they might be open to the possibility that I could be right. You know, it's better for a Christian to say, well, if that's true, then it would mean this and it would mean that. That's if it's true. But I don't believe that God is evil and Satan is actually the good guy. But I respect your beliefs, your point of view on it. But yeah, you do make some good points about here and there. It does get you to think. But it's my opinion that God is really the good guy and he is real. You know, and that's how they answer you. I don't have a problem with people like that. But when someone says no, that's not true. Satan is this. He's a deceiver. He's this and that, and they just constantly rant and rant and rant, and then says the Lord this and Lord that, and I give my life to Jesus, and they just constantly see all these kind of things to gain the moral high ground, to make it seem like that you're the idiot, that you're the ignorant, naive person who doesn't know what he's talking about, and they just constantly do that. Those are the Christian fundamentalists that I have a serious problem with because they're dangerous. They're extremely dangerous in brainwashing people. They're extremely dangerous. They're too much of a liability to do things that could end up tragic for the actual victims. But again, I don't have a problem with Christian liberals or people that just have the faith, but they don't really try to convert people. They just say, okay, if you don't believe it, I respect it. I respect that. God bless you and this and that, and they're good people. I mean, I have no problem with people like that. I actually have a few friends that are like that. It's very, very, I don't know, it's just so strange on how most people don't even realize, if you really read between the lines, if you really study the Bible from a different point of view, when you see it from a different point of view, and to know how dangerous this thing could be. I mean, people can interpret things their own way, and they just do evil atrocities. You know, they twist the words around and this and that, you know, for their own benefit. There's people like that too. But to think that he's the good guy, if he does exist, is just not so. But again, it's my opinion. I'm not trying to say this is what it is, but just try to see it from a different perspective. And if it makes sense to you, great. You agree with me. But if it doesn't make sense to you and you still feel the same way, you still feel that there is a Satan and he's evil and diabolical and God's really the good guy, then you think that way. That's fine. It's just very important to know the reason why most people would think like me. Because I'm not the only one. Just think of why. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Questions or comments, you know what to do. And this is Dare to Speak. And to all of you, take care, and I'm going to end the video with this. Do you find it ironic that God gives us commands for us to obey without question, and we do it without question? Because we're not supposed to question, just obey. To do whatever he says for our own good. Don't do this, instead do that. Always make sure you do this. Always make sure you never do that. And we do it without question. We never question his authority. And as we're doing this, we're not realizing the simple fact that we're following commands of a tyrant. Someone who expects us to do whatever he says, knowing that we're stupid enough, or I should say ignorant enough, to do whatever he says without question, because he's the authority figure. That's how much control this tyrant has over us, if he really was real.
Let me give you a little inside information about God. God likes to watch. He's a prankster. Think about it. He gives man instincts. He gives you this extraordinary gift, and then what does he do? I swear